I did not like this book. Greetings, salutations. Hello, my name is Brittany. Welcome to my channel. I talk about books, and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I read in the month of November. Not that many, so it should go by fairly quickly. However, I want to preface this video with a little bit of information. Today is day 1 of Bookmas. I'm doing 12 days, so there will be a video every single day from December 12th until December 24th. Yes, 12 videos in 12 days is kind of unheard of for like the whole life of this channel, but we're challenging ourselves this year, and that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna start it off with just kind of doing like a reset of last month of the books that I read. First thing. Second thing, as a caveat to that, on the 24th of December, when the last video goes live or whatever, that will be the beginning of my break, in which I will be taking a break from technically December 25th until my birthday, which is on January 24th. So a full month break, and I'm excited. I've never planned out a break. It's usually I'm gone. There will be 12 videos for you to peruse, go back, watch, etc. So I'm really excited about that. But let's get into this video. I'm not trying to be too lengthy. I did not read that many books. The first book that I read was Her Secret War by Pam Leckie. I actually have the book here. I read it as a physical copy, and no. Like, it's just, I don't want to say that I would never read anything from this author again, because it wasn't a bad book. It was just boring. Somehow, some way, I got roped into reading another thriller, and I'm really over thrillers. It's really, as a caveat, it's very interesting because I love thrillers in movies, like movie thrillers, love them. Like, Blink Twice, really enjoyed that movie. Do not enjoy horror movies, though. But in books, I feel as though I enjoy horror books a little bit more than I enjoy thrillers. Thrillers are just annoying to me. This thriller, it wasn't good. I'm pretty sure this is a young adult. It read like young adult. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. And nothing really happens in this book. Like, 2 things kind of take place or happen in this book, but it isn't like really that significant. It's significant, but it doesn't really like dissolve to anything. And then also it does one of those things where, like, in the book, at a certain point, you're just like, okay, I see where this is going. Like, it's not a shock, it's not a turn, you know. So definitely for like a new young, they have to also be new to reading, new young reader, I feel as though this would be adequately decent. But for me, it was definitely a no. I did give it a 3-star rating, and I think I was very generous because there wasn't anything actually inherently wrong with this book. I just didn't fully enjoy it. So that was Her Secret War. The second book that I read this month is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. A while ago, like in my Costa Rica vlog that I did, I was reading the first book of the Part of Your World series called Part of Your World. And that book was actually like chill, fine. I read Yours Truly, and I guess like maybe my opinion is a little bit different than standard. I did not like this book. I did not like the book. I didn't like the book so much that it made me appreciate the first book more than I appreciated this book. So, spoilers a little bit. I'm not going to tell you the whole plot, but like a little bit of spoilers right now. The book does talk about really serious topics such as depression and anxiety, and they are shown and exemplified in the character's behavior. And I don't mean this to be like rude or harsh, but it was so grating to me. It was grating to me, and it wasn't because of their mental illness or the things that they had in their life. It was grating because it was such a long book of them literally not even going in circles, just both living in delusion. And it just hurt, right? It hurt as a person outside watching it. Like, the book wasn't fun for me to read. Like, obviously I wanted the ending, I wanted the resolution, but it wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't a page turner. It was like I was trudging along through the book, obviously knowing how it is going to end, but feeling as though they were just self-sabotaging themselves every way without, like, it was weird because they were so good at communicating, but they didn't communicate about the important stuff. And it was just like, my head hurts. My head hurts and I want to scream. But I gave it 3 stars, which is crazy. Because right now that I'm thinking about it, I want to give it 2. But it wasn't horrible. It just was like, I can't recommend that book. The 4th book that I read that I did not finish is Tender is the Flesh. Tender is the Flesh is about society and human interactions where something happens to the protein source in humans' daily consumption of things. So they had no protein source, so they started eating humans. Like, it's about cannibalism, but it's so much more. Like, unfortunately, the book is a situation where cannibalism feels like one of the least offensive things that happen in the book. They start producing and creating people and also taking minorities, capturing them, and then cutting them up, eating them. And so they're also like breeding for these type of people, and there's very specifics on how they treat the breeding process. I only got into like 14 pages of the book and I had to stop. This book made me feel nauseous. It made me feel like sick. And the thing what's so good about the book and what's good about the writing is that the writing, how she writes the book, it is engaging. It is captivating. It like pulls you in it and you feel yourself being pulled in, but you're pulled in to a horror movie. You're pulled into atrocities and just deplorable things. The part that was hard is it felt real, right? There was I read some of the reviews and they said this, but they were like, you're trying to read this book and there's parts where you're trying to disassociate from what she's writing. You're trying to say like, okay, like this is somewhere off, some far, far land, right? You want to disassociate, but there's things and how she writes it is like consistently bringing you back to reality of like, no, you're in this. I felt like I was in the story. And that is something that I don't feel when I read most books. So being like fully immersed in a story was so nice to that extent, but it was so hard because I don't want to be in this story. I don't want to be immersed in this, what's going on here. The fifth? 1, 2, no. I have my numbers so wrong. This is the 4th book. The last one was the 3rd book. So the actual 4th book that I read last month was Coraline. It's kind of short, which I loved. I'm sure we're going to talk about it a lot more in the future, but the premise of Coraline is it is a girl who just moved into this new manor converted into like apartments, like sections for people to live in. So she's living in a house with like 2 other like households. So it's like 3 households in this one building. She moved in with her mother and her father. They're very much like busy, right? They're busy adults, and we're hearing the story from the vantage point of a preteen. I think she's like 12 maybe, and her parents don't have time for her. They're busy. They're working on the computer, and she goes to explore the house, and she explores this tunnel that leads her into this, what she thinks is a utopia, and things spiral out of place from there. And that's basically what the book is about. It's very interesting. It's technically a children's book, a kid's book, I guess, but it's so interesting, and it captivates something so subtle but so like really creepy about it that is just so amazing. And I think I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in like a more dedicated video towards the book, but I did read that and I rated that 5 stars. Like that was a 5-star read for me. And then the book that I technically haven't finished, but I'm technically going to talk about because I'm not going to come back later and like talk to you about it. Probably I'm not going to wait till like next year to talk about it, but it is Demon's Dream by Ella Kaysen. Do you guys remember Blueford High books? Am I the only one? I don't know. They were like a percent of my childhood, but that's like if you took those books, sprinkled in a little bit of Zeus Network, sprinkled in a little bit of Now That's TV. I don't know if you know about Now That's TV, but If you don't, good for you. But now that's TV network. And then put in the cover of the book to look like a Tubi movie, but give it actually really good, decent writing, like beyond decent, like ahead of decent. Like Ella, she know how to write. I don't know who made the cover art for the book, but she knows how to write. Take that, put it into a book, and then put in a little bit of, if you've ever read the Magnolia Park series, the first book, where like things are progressing forward, but like the two love interests are kind of going around in circles, but somehow that's kind of interesting. Put that into the book too. That's what the book is about. That's the book. That's the book. That's the book. So let's talk about it in a little bit more detail than that, because I probably didn't tell you things. So the book is about this man named Demon. I'm not gonna call him Demon because that's not his real name. His real name is Damien. But he's very aggressive. He is a serial killer. This man's a serial killer. And you can't really slice it or dice it any other way, because by definition, a person who has murdered 3 or more people in the period of over a month with a cooling down in between murders. That's crazy. But in my opinion, if you kill more than 3 people, unfortunately, you're a serial killer. He's a serial killer. It's giving very much like mafia family vibes, and the families do illegal things, right? They have their wealth, they have power based off of illegal means. And things happen in which 2 of the families have to kind of come together. No, that's not it. That's not it. How do I explain this book? Let me figure it out. Give me a second. This book is about, a lot of stuff happens, but you're not really there. Like, you're not there for the plot. Like, if you're looking for like a story with like a very defined plot, this is not. This is a story for a good time. It's very spicy, not gonna lie to you. And 2, it is about Damien and Dream and them kind of going through life, dealing with life together, as well as this other couple, Danae and Smoke, or Cartier is his other name, and them going through life. That's basically what it is. That's basically what it is. It's a ghetto love story. It's a black love story. And it's one of those stories where you're just like, I'm having so much fun listening and reading this book. I never want any of these events that happen in this book. Hold on. I don't want majority of the events that happen in this book to ever happen to me. Because y'all be in the thick of it. And I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there at all. At all. So yeah, that is all. That is basically what I read in November. It wasn't that many books, but I feel so it was a lot of books because last year I might have read 3 to 4 books within the year. So reading 3 to 4 books within a month, I think is solid. I think that's solid for me, personally. And the comparison is the thief of joy. Anyway, yes, so today is day 1 of Bookmas. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, me rambling about the books that I read. If you have any questions or if you have any suggestions of things that you would like to see, please let me know. But I will see you tomorrow for something else, for me talking about something else, doing some other book activity. Anyway, bye.